Nasalunat nga aldaw kada kayo amin. Schools are typically a framework of teaching and learning scenarios built towards academic achievement. With the new normal setup brought about by the pandemic, the framework collapsed into various modes of implementation, which include huge adjustments on educational objectives and outcomes. The academic premises, which once became witnesses of numerous recitation scenes, countless extracurricular activities, rendezvous for group projects, failures, and accomplishments, are now empty. We bring education at home, divide our time in between household chores, work and school hours, coping with the online world's demands to reach out, negotiate with the internet providers, change our lifestyle drastically, and then submit ourselves to the call for learning continuity because we need to survive. These circumstances bring us to a realization that school, learning, per se, will never be the same again in a few more years. As teachers and future teachers, we develop a sense of self-concept among our students and generally a culture regardless of their individual differences. It is a must that we instill awareness on social issues and concerns too, which will definitely affect them. For this episode, please refer to your learning modules as we embark on two major aspects: the teacher and the school culture relative to social issues. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. The learning environment is one of the basic components which makes academic situations happen. It consists of properly designed physical structures and various facilities offering the possibilities of different learning activities and the best opportunities of instruction. School facilities like buildings, library, laboratories, grounds, gymnasium, and clinic should be motivational spaces and efficiently accessible to the institutional members, administrators, teachers, non-teaching staff, and learners. All should be geared into conducive learning and teaching. In particular, classrooms should be well managed. It must show a productive learning space for written and performance tasks comprehensively framed by the teacher who is in charge to make it comfortable and ready for academic interactions. How does learning take place when we have varied concepts of a classroom? This is where classroom management and discipline take place. Related to instruction, classroom management refers to the teacher's overall leadership role. Aside from carefully planning the lessons, execution, and assessment, a teacher practices time management in order to allocate time for various real-life activities, which may influence and enhance the process of learning among students. Discipline is a result of effective classroom management, as it involves the preventive approaches of misbehavior and challenges. The provisions of routine and reward system are important manifestations of how a teacher establishes his authority, flexibility, and character. Check your memory bank. Are you familiar with this situation? Preventing these ones to happen requires a good working relationship among the teacher, administrators, and stakeholders who promote a common goal of promoting effective instruction, core values, and competencies for future workplace. According to Henry Mintzberg, the behavior of a group cannot be predicted solely from an understanding of the personality of each of its members. In the context of an organization, it highlights a culture or a character. A school, being an example, has distinctive cultures of efficacy, trust, optimism, and control. Organizational culture encompasses a system of shared orientations that hold the unit together and give it a distinctive identity. It includes norms, shared beliefs, and values, assumptions. Norms are usually informal written expectations which directly influence behavior. For example, it is a norm of a school to be supportive of their administrators and faculty members in cases of self-interest and organizational interest. Values are reflections of what is desirable and a definition on how members should behave the way they do. It also manifests the basic character and identity of an organization. For example, state universities are venues for better work opportunities because they have more national and international linkages for students' apprenticeship and in-service trainings. The shared belief on internationalization is well taken as an action towards the attainment of global standards. This assumption is a collective output of culture. It is an abstract concept about the nature of human relationships, human nature, reality, and environment. It also refers to a consistent and articulate pattern of general truths. For instance, a distinctive strong culture magnifies truths as ultimately coming from teachers themselves. This assumption gives a shared value of professionalism and autonomy. Another is assumption on teachers as a family who takes care of each other shows a shared value of respect and of conflict avoidance. This means that the basic patterns of assumptions differ and rely on what people as individuals do, organization, value, and do. Culture serves to guide and shape the attitudes and behavior of organizational members, which can promote or distort effectiveness. In relation to this, a report from former Senator Leticia Shahani entitled A Moral Recovery Program, Building a People, Building a Nation, showed the strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino character. The strengths of the Filipino character are pagkipagkapwa-tao, family orientation, joy and humor, flexibility, adaptability and creativity, hard work and industry, faith and religiosity, and ability to survive. The Filipino character also has weaknesses: extreme family-centeredness, extreme personalism, lack of discipline, passivity and lack of initiative, colonial mentality, kanya-kanya syndrome, talangka mentality, lack of self-analysis and self-reflection, and emphasis on forma rather than substance. Indeed, schools have to intensify values education in the curriculum, providing more of substance than form. School culture is a construct from organizational culture. An effective school should have a strong school culture with these characteristics: shared values and a consensus on how we get things done here. The principal is a hero or heroine who embodies core values. Employees as situational heroes. Distinctive rituals that embody shared beliefs. Balance between innovations, traditions, and between autonomy and control. Widespread participation in cultural rituals. Significant rituals to celebrate and transform values. What is the meaning of ritual? Rituals are the routine ceremonies and rites that signal what is important in the organization. Icons are physical artifacts that are used to communicate culture. Schools are venues for action to take place. This means that every member must be an active agent of change and a place where problems are identified and are then solved. Instruction should be directed in providing information and awareness to fully comprehend what needs to be prioritized, like integrating various global concerns and societal issues of today. Among these global barriers include violence, discrimination, climate change, unemployment, security and well-being, corruption, drugs, pollution, lack of education, among others. These social issues cannot be stopped over time but through community partnership and various programs of schools and the government. One problem, one solution at a time is possible. Schools equate quality. However, they can also be a research sphere where problems may be visible and can be solution possible in the views of its members and can be initiated in the classroom. Students learn based on how teachers teach. Thereby, teachers should be pillars of a strong school culture in order to give holistic development among learners. In summary, school culture advocates good management, creating an effective representation of its members and stakeholders. Here are the views of our future mentors on various issues surrounding the education sector today. Let's listen to one of our future mentors.
What makes a teacher? Beyond the stereotypical, tight-bond, book-wielding mind full of knowledge, a teacher, beyond the profession, is a person. A person who poured countless hours, immeasurable effort, and remarkable self-sacrifice to be able to attain and maintain their career, and continue to do so every day for the generations that may change the future drastically. A teacher is someone that guides their students and equips them with the intellectual weapons they need to thrive in the world. Teachers kindle the sparks within the students and turn it into a burning passion that they also have. The same passion that powers the teacher to strive and continue the noble act of helping those who needs their help. Ideally, a teacher is someone who is smart, compassionate, patient, and most of all, humane. To be able to properly understand the students, where they are coming from, and to be able to see a path that the student is most compatible with. I think what makes a teacher is their ability to maintain their composure amidst the challenges they have to face on a daily basis, from teaching their classrooms and managing their personal lives, all while keeping themselves up to date with the continuous and constant changes that occurs within the world. For me, a teacher's soul is what makes them great. The ability to create a rational decision, have a gut feeling of what's true, and the heart that can pour its entirety is what their soul needs to resonate and fuel their drive to continue their vocation. A teacher's sacrifice is great. They spend more than half of their life teaching and touching the lives of people to strive and make a difference in the world. To me, the efforts of teachers is something I hold specially dear. It is something that I admire and keep in mind when I struggle on the road to becoming one. Because if I'm struggling now, then how much struggle could they have been through?
I hope that you gained insights from the perspectives of the academe as your future workplace. Being a teacher requires you to possess the highest standards of the profession, be it in knowledge, value system, morality, and skills. The culture that you will about to create in the organization or in your classroom will eventually reflect you as an educational leader worthy to be emulated by your learners. Ti adal kat may sangagamon nga haan nga pulos nga mapukaw. Panagyaman kada kayo amin. Tune in for our next episode.